My name is Lynn, with my partner Steve from the UK. We bought a 300-year-old stone farmhouse and olive grove in Abruzzo, Italy, that we call Brambletye. Brambletye is situated just outside a small village overlooking the Adriatic Sea and the Maiella National Park. We've taken on the restoration and renovation of Brambletye ourselves to become our future home. We'd love you to come along with us whilst we learn new skills, a new language, live the lifestyle and explore the region with our dog Button. Hello there everybody, and welcome to Brambletye again. As you can see, I'm back, but my substitute is definitely here in full. I'm not sure how long she's going to sit here, but Button's going to take part in this little chat with you. So, do you want to start, Steve? What have you been up to recently?
Been busy. I haven't had time to shave. The sun is out. It's about 30 degrees. It's the morning here. Beautiful, beautiful weather. We won't complain about it. Gives us nice long days now, and I normally use these long days to get as much as I can done early morning, late night sort of type of working environment. The weather is unusual, to say the least.
Much hotter.
We normally prepare the grass and cut the grounds in early May, and that sort of takes care of it for the period of the summer. But second week in May we had 4 days of rain, and everything grew another foot again. Everybody is in the same problem here. They're all complaining because obviously they're getting their big tractors out, they're getting all their machinery out, and they have to get it all out again.
What was that machinery we had to get out? We would call it a strimmer, but in Italy you call it a digiospallatore. Did I pronounce that correctly now?
Yeah, more. I think Lynn wants to get our Italian.
I wanted to get some Italian in.
So to you Americans, probably it's called a weed whacker.
Yeah.
And the Italian name is digiospallatore. I'll put a spelling under. It's the most ridiculous name for a machine, but that's Italy for you. You've got to love it for that as well. And all of the other machines sound pretty much similar in a different kind of way.
Well, you know that we were doing the pruning, and you probably watched our pruning vlog. Well, we managed more or less to complete most of the trees, but we do have a few trees. You can probably see one or two of them behind us. We've got rocks there, but as Steve said, some of that grass grew really long, and it's really difficult for us to get in there at the moment. That's where Steve actually saw another snake. So if you saw the rhubarb vlog, you might have known about a snake.
No, we didn't show it.
Oh, we didn't show the snake, so maybe Steve might show the picture of the snake.
I will show the snake. It was dormant, as in it wasn't moving a great deal. I think it was probably disturbed out of hibernation, not by anything I was doing, maybe by another animal or something. It was very, very dormant. I got very close to it and then took it away to another part
to another home.
to another part of the area, just on the end of a stick, and it came quite happily with me. But it was a good 4 feet long, black snake.
And actually, when we're talking about the olive trees and the garden and everything that's been going on, we had a great adventure the other day. We actually went to collect some horse manure. So for those of you that have seen some of our gardening vlogs, I have been advised that the best thing for my tomatoes is the horse manure. So we found somewhere quite local, and 2 American ladies are actually there.
Quite an amazing story.
It is, and they were keeping their horses there.
Both Olympic champions.
Yes, but anyway, they actually said no problem, bring your trailer down and collect some. What I do have to say is some of the horses there were beautiful. We got horse manure from Magic and Doctor Who.
So there was a palomino, a stallion,
yep,
a lapis, what's that
a
word? Somebody's going to...
Lepiziano. Is it the ones that they do in Austria where they do the dressage? Anyway, we'll give you a little bit of information about that. Steve might actually put some photos on, but the horses were beautiful. The people there were very kind, and as I say, take as much manure as you like. We don't need it, and I've got the old manure in preparation because we've also going to be building, and we're in the stages of almost completing the 2 new boxes that you're doing in the garden.
Yeah, so we've got we 3 more raised beds, 3.
Yes, 3.
One smaller, and then the other 2 are matching what we've already done. It was a decision whether we would do those when we originally prepared that piece of ground, because obviously what we don't want is too many vegetables. There's only 2 of us, and obviously we end up giving half of them away.
Yeah, lettuce grows really well, but we made a decision after doing the manure that day at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Button absolutely loves the beach, so we decided let's get in the car and go down to the beach.
Yeah, she knows as soon as you're
get to a certain point.
She knows as soon as you get to a certain point, and she sees the sea and goes absolutely berserk in the back of the car.
I think it's the smell as well, isn't it? The salt.
Yeah, so
it's
just a 20-minute drive, and at the moment it's obviously quiet down at the beach. There are people there, but not in force.
We went to a region called Ortona.
Yeah. Porto de Ortona.
Yes, we went there, and really nice area. And there's one particular area where really there was nobody there. A little bit like a lagoon with water, and then there was stones.
Absolutely
and then
gorgeous.
The sea. And
yeah.
Button had a fabulous time there.
The funny thing is, Button, there's a train track that runs behind this part of the ocean, and it used to be a little bit scary for Button, but this time she got there, she ran straight across the beach, straight over the top of the rocks that hold the sea back, and straight into the sea. I'll show a piece of video. It's hilarious, and starts swimming out. I mean, she's out of her depth, but because she's got these
webbed paws.
She's got a big web in there, and she swims like a pro. Fantastic. So she really enjoyed herself. So I'll put some of that video in, and we spent.
We spent a couple of hours there.
And also she had a good run around, off lead.
No, we still had a glass of wine though afterwards.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, we had a glass of wine each. Button actually had nice water and a few little treats. I better say that word quietly because she might want some at the moment.
Yeah, you've got to be careful what you say around Button. She knows her words.
How much did it cost for our 2 glasses of Trebbiano?
So 2 glasses of Trebbiano and
crisps and nuts the lady produced for us.
Crisps and peanuts. And that cost me €5.
The other thing that we need to talk about is what you've been doing with the stonework, because you're doing a lot of preparation.
Yeah, so obviously things are going a bit slowly. We have got days full of just about every job going here. Always puts pressure on the building because obviously there's only me, and obviously we've got to film it and edit as well. But where I'm at is we're starting to mark up the stone, put in the holes to inset the steel spigots, put the holes in the smaller piece of stone, and starting to glue and bolt them together. So I'm actually going to show you part of that process going on quickly, and then obviously in the full programme, which I think will be the next one, I'll show you the full process. What I want to do is to start getting those framing stones in, but
But you have the wood, you bought the wood to make the former.
I bought the wood yesterday, and
it's the same wood as the boxes.
Yeah, so we're going to make a former, so the stone will sit exactly around the shape I build in the former.
You might be wondering what I've got sort of sitting here near me, apart from a few little things for Button. We talked about Steve getting a t-shirt for me some time ago. Well, it was a little time ago, and I'm not sure whether it's the right size anyway, but he did buy me a t-shirt. On this bit here you can see Construzioni di Brambletye, and then on the reverse I am an official rock collector.
Yeah, but I thought...
It's a little bit on the tight side, folks. I didn't want to scare you all if I put it on.
I thought that was quite a nice thing for me to do.
That's my nice t-shirt. Maybe Button might fancy it.
And actually,
shade it. Official rock collector, Button.
Actually, it is a medium. I didn't get the small one.
It looks pretty small.
Yeah, I guess you can see what...
Yeah, it looks pretty small.
What it looks like. But anyway, the thought that counts, I think, is the...
Yeah. What else? I've had a few sort of insecty pests in the garden, and didn't know what they were.
Some things we've never seen.
One looked like the shape of a ladybird with the most beautiful colour on the back, almost like the colour of when petrol mixes with a bit of water, that fluorescent blues and green colour.
That's beautiful.
Had no idea what it was. It was actually on the rosemary bush. I actually messaged on Facebook to see if anyone could help me. I believe it's now called a rosemary beetle, and I think its correct name is something like Crystalana americana, and it will eventually hurt the rosemary bush. So I have actually individually collected them all off the rosemary bush, and hopefully it should be okay now. It's one of these things that goes for aromatic plants.
Yeah.
So I found
So
it on the
herbs.
rosemary. Yeah, I found it on the
Yeah.
rosemary, and I found 2 on the lavender bush.
All the herbs look lovely.
But the herbs are looking good.
Lynn's doing a great job.
So you can get some pictures of that.
But we're
And-
eating salad every day.
Yeah. Oh,
Or-
in fact, I need to say what we're actually eating from the garden.
Good idea.
We are eating 4 different types of lettuce, including rocket. We are eating onions from our garden. We are eating radishes from the garden. We now have mange tout growing. And what else have I got? Oh, well, obviously the parsley is growing, the
You've got
thyme
mint.
is growing,
Yeah.
and the mint.
They're all
So at the
looking good.
moment, you know, the salads are doing well, and obviously I'm adding to the salad olives that I did last year, and I'm also adding walnuts that we picked last year. So at the moment, our salads are fantastic. Button on Saturday had a major haircut. And when I say a major haircut, she actually sat on a table for about 3 hours.
Needed to be done.
And Steve did her a major haircut, because as you can imagine, you know, wearing short sleeves, etc., and Button has a fur coat on, for goodness sake, she needed a good trim.
We haven't got any good recommendations of people that could do
The grooming.
the grooming anyway, and I knew she would sit for me nicely. And,
Oh, she was amazing,
yeah, and
totally amazing. I can't say anything other.
And to be fair, most of the people that have seen her have asked us where we had it done, so
Yeah,
they
they
can
have.
get their dogs done. But anyway, I'll show you a little bit of video of her being her haircut being done.
I
And
also,
if Lynn wants, as you can see,
No,
she's got a bit of hair.
I've got.
I could probably take that on
I've
as well.
got a lovely lady in the village that I can go and
Yeah.
get my hair trimmed, and she's brilliant. So anyway, Anna, if you're watching, I'll be back and see you to get my hair cut again.
Yeah.
I've actually also, for my improvement of my Italian, you probably didn't know about this, I picked up a very nice vegetable gardening book that was at the shop, and it's got all of the Italian words in, so when we actually publish
That's
what
brilliant.
we're growing, I can actually write the correct word for garlic, like alioli. I can write the correct word for whether it's an onion,
Well, we have noticed, is it chipola?
chipola.
We have noticed that quite a few people obviously comment on the fact that we get our Italian words wrong sometimes with O and A.
Yeah.
In fairness, it's perfectly right to criticise us.
Please.
We should know better, but it's that female or that feminine masculine thing, and it's hard. It's difficult, and especially when you're in front of a camera, you're bound to get it wrong or get it back to front.
What I would also say is, for all of those of you, you know, who are watching us from all over the world, who English isn't your first language, we do try and speak sort of slower sometimes to help, and we also do try and put some Italian words in, but we need to put more Italian words in.
But you can also, obviously, we need to put more Italian, and we shall get there. I know we will. On YouTube, there is a facility just to translate yourself when you're watching
For subtitles.
For subtitils, it's so easy to do, and a lot of the Italian people that are watching, because we have 15% of our views, believe it or not, do
Yeah.
come from Italy, and I see the stats on the actual dashboard, and you can actually see how many people have translated it into Italian. So it obviously does the job. I
Yeah.
spoke to somebody who's Italian who doesn't speak English,
Oh,
and they
two
said they
two
could
people
understand.
from the builder's yard that you went to
Yeah,
to
went
collect the wood.
Went to the builder's yard
That's
yesterday,
good.
and holy smoke! I'm standing there at the counter waiting to buy some screws and wood, and on comes the Brambletime music. I didn't even. I thought I know that music, the first introductory music, and they were all laughing because they are now following us. You know, these are hard. These are hard Italian men, all wearing big hobnail boots and standing there laughing at me. And what they said was, the only thing, we love it, but we can't understand. So I told them about the translation, and it was like,
Yeah, that's going to help.
Yep.
Definitely. We try to change our backdrop for you just to give you a different view of the area that we have. And you can see behind us, we've had these beautiful poppies. I actually did manage to film as well this week. I say film. I did this tiny little video of a little bee actually going into the poppy, and it was
Didn't
just,
mess around,
for me
did
it was amazing
It
that
got-
I actually caught it.
Yeah, it got stuck in straight
Yeah.
away. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Did its job.
Oh, yeah.
Did its job, and then it's funny because the poppies they only really come along now, and because we're obviously doing a lot of earth moving and a lot of things that are going on. I didn't think maybe we would have as many poppies this year
True.
because the piece behind us, the backdrop, isn't going to be there next year. It should all be flat.
Well, hopefully
But we're building a brick wall
you might
behind
just see
it.
some of the rocks behind us. There's a lot of rocks hidden in amongst that particular bit of land. Oh, and that's something else, although perhaps I shouldn't mention it yet, about the lady and me doing that little mini interview.
Well, it's a roundup of the week, and that's what happened in the week.
Yeah, in fact, that was
As long
something-
as you don't go on as long as you did when you were speaking to her.
Oh yeah, that's true. Her and I did chat for about 2.5 hours, and I say her and I, it was probably me that chatted for about 2.5 hours.
But it was an interview for.
It was an interview for a magazine that she's writing an article, and she wanted to know a little bit more about sort of working on Concord, the kind of people that I actually met, the job that I actually did, the places that I actually went to, and a lot more information. She's in the stages of writing the article at the moment, so when I know more about it and when I've sort of read the article as well, I'll tell you more about it.
It should be called
But
Parallel Lives.
Parallel Lives, that's it.
Parallel.
She didn't actually chat to you though.
No, she didn't speak to me,
No,
but I just put myself
but it was
in there.
I think it's an
In
aeronautic magazine.
In the news, what you do is you give a trigger word to start another piece of conversation.
Okay,
because
then you
otherwise
bring it
we'll be
in.
sitting here for 2 hours
Then
and our
you
vlog
bring
will be
it in.
5 hours long.
But anyway, I think we're kind of getting towards the end because we can actually see Button in the distance. She's going to go a little wander into someone else's field, not our field. So if you've liked what you've seen, I might say tick the lick, but I do know it's
I don't like it.
no.
I don't think people are going to
No.
really like it.
Would you just tick like? Also,
Subscribe.
if you haven't already subscribed, Steve's got one of Button's old bowls out here. It's not the one that she uses on an everyday purpose, but also, you know, there are so many of you that are writing fabulous comments, and I'm getting so much information. Steve's getting information. Steve's actually getting a lot of questions as well, and advice. There's some really good things coming out.
A lot of building questions, like why are we doing it like this or why are we doing it like that, but also some nice suggestions. I got some nice suggestions about putting a spline in the stone to strengthen up that stone, and that's something I'll take certainly under consideration when I'm doing it. I think we will put a spline in it anyway.
Definitely.
I just don't want to disturb the stone too much. To put a spline would be a piece of metal inset into the concrete to give it that rigidity. But so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, there was a lady called Elizabeth who's given me recommendations about the pests in the garden. Anthony and Stephen and many others have suggested about the horse manure and everything. You know, keep those comments coming in because it is, well, it's great, especially for me with the gardening, because I'm a novice and I'm doing the best I can. And with the help of you guys, we're going to have better vegetables this year, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe.
No.
Just push the little button on the bottom of your phone or your computer. We've got a little logo on the bottom right hand corner in red that says subscribe. Just push that. It doesn't cost anything. You don't sign up to anything. It's just a matter of pushing that button. It really helps the channel, and obviously, as I spoke in the beginning of the program, that we actually want to grow it.
Yeah.
We're enjoying what we're doing. People are enjoying the kind of content we're making, and it's all honest content.
Okay, so it's goodbye from me, Lynn. Goodbye from
Me, him,
Steve, and I think goodbye from Button.
I think Button's already said goodbye.
She's actually and truly off.
She's about 2,000 yards out in the distance.
Well and truly
the good
off.
thing about it here is she can go quite a distance.
We're now going to go back and finish off the boxes for the garden that we've got to do for the vegetable garden. So hope you have a great day, everybody, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Bob-on. The only thing is, they do have to do something to subscribe.
What?
They have to sign up to Google.